special recognition for the university's graduating students. We welcome you to today's ceremonies, where hundreds of family members and friends already have arrived to celebrate the academic achievements of today's graduates. About 1,400 students are expected to participate in graduation today at the University of South Carolina. USC is the state's flagship university and is one of the few large universities in the nation that continues to recognize each graduate individually. When graduates walk across the platform in the Colonial Life Arena today, each one will receive personal congratulations and a handshake from Carolina President Harris Pastides. Dr. Pastides is the university's 28th president. As the state's flagship university, Carolina has steadily increased the quality of its student body in recent years. This past fall, Carolina welcomed about 5,000 first-year students with the highest SAT average in university freshman class history. USC is clearly a first-choice university for many students. Spring commencement exercises at the University of South Carolina will officially begin in just a few minutes. The USC Wind Ensemble is providing a lively musical prelude to today's ceremonies. Let's enjoy a few moments with the Wind Ensemble, conducted by Scott Weiss.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the University Mace.
Things are getting underway now. Commencement officials are making their way to the platform. The president of student government, Michael Parks, leads the processional carrying the university mace. The mace is accompanied by the Mace Party, which includes a trustee from the Board of Trustees, the president of the Carolina Alumni Association, a university faculty member representing all of the university faculty, and a retired faculty member. A contingent of university faculty is following the mace carrier to the commencement platform. They are being led by Joan Gable, Carolina's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost.
The officials of the university.
The faculty are being followed by a contingent of university officers and special guests who are being led by Carolina's registrar, Aaron Martyrer. The registrar's office is responsible for all student records, as well as the official academic calendar.
The deans representing the deans of the university.
Augie Grant, chair of the Faculty Senate on the Columbia campus, is leading the deans from the Columbia campus's colleges and schools. Grant is a professor in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications.
The university's Board of Trustees and distinguished guests.
Next in the processional are members of the Board of Trustees, the policy-making body for Carolina. The trustees are being led by Board Secretary Amy Stone, and they are accompanying today's honorary degree recipients, Rosa and Winton Eugene, self-taught ceramics artists, and Timothy Keating, Senior Vice President for Government Affairs for the Boeing Company. Keating will also deliver today's commencement address. USC President Harris Pastides is the final person in the procession. Dr. Pastides has begun his 6th year as Carolina's 28th president. He joined the university in 1998 as Dean of the Arnold School of Public Health. 5 years later, he was named Vice President for Research, and he helped lead the university's strong growth in research funding. Carolina has been cited by the Carnegie Foundation as one of the top-tier research universities in the country. As president, he has initiated new emphasis on student leadership and has been active in the university's $1 billion Carolina's Promise campaign. Dr. Pastides is married to Patricia Moore Pastides, and they have 2 grown children, Catherine and Andrew, and 1 grandchild.
Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you to a most honored tradition and to what will be the crowning experience for the class of 2016, your University of South Carolina commencement. Will everyone please remain standing as the USC Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Dr. Scott Weiss, accompanies Michael Liu, a Bachelor of Music candidate in vocal performance, as he leads us in singing our national anthem. We will then have the invocation given by Reverend Tom Wall from the Methodist Campus Ministries.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Join me if you would, please. Good and gracious God, source of truth, teacher of wisdom, in this place where accomplishment is celebrated and hard work is extolled, we pause to give you thanks and to remember those without whom we would not be here today. How grateful we are for these Carolina years. Our teachers have enlightened, our hearts have been enlarged, our minds have been opened, and our new friends we will have for a lifetime. We are grateful for you, Holy Presence. In times of uncertainty and change, you have been a constant. When we felt ourselves overwhelmed with work and worry, our heads were kept above the chaotic waters. In adversity, we have been strengthened, and through many trials, we have bent but have not been broken, and so we say thank you. and how grateful we are for family and friends, teachers and taunters, all who have encouraged and nudged, pushed and cajoled us each step of the way throughout these trying but exhilarating years. As we commence from this period of preparation into a future full of possibility, go with us, O Great One. As our minds have been broadened in the search for knowledge, so enlarge our hearts to excel in selfless giving. May we strive to live not merely by rules and laws, but by the standard of love. May we not make a living so much as we make better the lives of others. In all that we do, give us a hunger for justice infused with a thirst for compassion. And now, as we have entered to learn, let us depart to serve. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Liu, Reverend Wall, and musicians. Would everyone now be seated? Well, what a large and good-looking group we have here. Let me make sure I'm in the right place. Are there any Gamecocks in the Colonial Life Arena today? Welcome again, everyone. Graduates, we are here to salute you, the class of 2016. I hope that sounds great to you. It sounds great to your families and friends and to us here on the platform party. We're here to salute you with pomp and circumstance, some advice, a handshake, a photo, some laughter, and some music. But we're here truly for one purpose only, to send you off with a majestic and heartfelt ceremony. So take a moment now and let it begin to soak in. This is a day you've anticipated. This is a day you've worked for. Well, for how long? I would say you've anticipated and worked for it your whole life. And this day, like only a very few others in your lives, maybe your wedding, the birth of your child, and maybe a few others, but only a few, will create a major change in your status in an instant, when I read the degree conferral, and later when I ask you to move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left. So let it soak in very deeply. Just like college, this ceremony will pass very, very quickly. I'm truly proud and confident in your abilities and in your future. Call me cocky about that. No, forget that. Don't call me cocky. In fact, cocky is somewhere I know in cap and gown today. So don't call me cocky, but call me confident. I'm pleased to report that you will be entering a more receptive job market than the graduates from just 1 year ago. In fact, the estimates are that 11% more college graduates will be hired this year than last year. How does that sound to the families here? But I'm also confident, not because of the market, but because I know you are very well prepared. You will soon have a degree from the University of South Carolina. America continues to have the greatest model of higher education the world has ever known. And that is not my opinion. That is a fact that is confirmed by the greatest educational leaders from around the world. Ask anybody about that. And there are many special things about American higher education. First, we have a residential campus model of education, and a whole lot of learning goes on outside of the classroom, as you know, in internships, in clubs, recreational activities, and even in the residence halls on campus or in the apartments around the university. You have learned and you have grown 24/7. Also, American universities, unlike most around the world, compete in intercollegiate athletics. And despite problems and criticisms, no one would argue that the American college experience isn't greatly enriched by the opportunities some of you have had to be a student athlete, others a cheerleader, others a member of the band, and all of us student fans cheering for the Gamecocks. But let me tell you, the main thing that sets Apart, American higher education from all others around the world, frankly, is our liberal arts and sciences curriculum. That continues to define American higher education. Everyone graduating today with a bachelor's degree has received a broad, general education in the arts and sciences, even if your major was technical or pre-professional. Now, I'm confident that you weren't always excited to look for those gen ed electives whose relevance wasn't always obvious to you. But I believe you'll draw on that content over and over again, the material you studied and learned in those courses. And actually, the broad education you received here will make you better in your chosen career, whatever that is. Albert Einstein knew that. Of course, we know him as a scientific genius, a one-in-a-generation genius, maybe even more rare than that. But you may be surprised to hear that he said, quote, "If I were not a physicist, I would be a musician. I often think in music." Now, I don't know how you think in music, but I'm sure he knew what he was talking about. He went on to say, "I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music." He saw relevant parallels with music everywhere. His son, Hans, said, "Whenever Dad felt he had come to the end of the road or to a difficult situation in his work, he would take refuge in music, and that would usually resolve his difficulties." Einstein's sister said, "After playing piano, my brother would get up saying, 'There, now I've got it.' Something in the music had guided his thoughts in a new and creative direction." So my message to you is, by all means, be the best professional you can be as an accountant or an engineer, in the business world, in healthcare, or in anything you've chosen. But draw on everything you've learned at USC, because nobody can or will rise to the highest levels of their profession without a broad worldview and a broad education. Technology has become a lingua franca, but it's not the language that by itself will get you to where you're going. And one other thing, a business leader recently said that he respected competence in the STEM disciplines. And we thought that meant, and you know what that stands for, science, technology, engineering, and math, but he didn't mean it that way. He said the STEM he really wanted in his employees was sweat, teamwork, energy, and manners. I like that. Sweat, of course, means hard work, and class of 2016, everybody here would tell you there is no substitute for hard work. It's just the way it is. Teamwork is vital to problem solving and to any good organization. You might go faster alone, but you'll go farther as part of a team. Energy, of course, is a key ingredient to nearly everything you'll ever seek to do. So graduates, I remind you to get plenty of rest, but please at night, not in the morning. Wake up tomorrow by, can we agree on something? Would 7 be okay? Wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning and get going. And manners, well, you know, manners, I'm sure he was looking for an M word like manners. It's an old-fashioned word, but he undoubtedly meant the characteristic of being courteous and civic-minded. And let me tell you again what everybody here knows, that is basic and vital to your success. So surprisingly, everyone here in the class of 2016 is a STEM graduate because your degree is from the University of South Carolina. You've been asked to work hard, to work as a team, to be energetic and totally engaged, and always to be civic-minded and courteous, and you always were that. That's what we worked hard to instill in you. That is our greatest gift to you. On this, one of the most important days of your life that will be matched by very few others. Ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me that these young people have come a very long way since you dropped them off as a freshman or a transfer student or a graduate student, let's enthusiastically acknowledge them right now as the soon-to-be alumni of the USC class of 2016. And now I'd like to introduce you to several individuals who recently received some of the university's highest faculty awards. As I call out your name, would you please stand and remain standing? Let's withhold our applause until all have been introduced. First, we have the winner of the Michael J. Mungo Undergraduate Teaching Award, Linda Shimizu from Chemistry and Biochemistry. Donna Chen of the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry received the Educational Foundation Award for Research in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering. Winner of the Michael J. Mungo Distinguished Professor of the Year Award, our highest faculty award, is Professor Maria Girardi from the Mathematics Department. The recipient of the Distinguished Undergraduate Research Mentor Award is Ryan Rikozeski of the Biological Sciences Department. The Carolina Trustee Professorship for the Columbia campus is Professor Venkat Lakshmi from the School of Earth, Ocean, and Environment. And finally, the Carolina Trustee Professorship for the system-wide campuses is James Cox, Jr. from the Theater Department at USC Upstate. Let's now recognize all of these fine awardees. I'm also pleased to announce two student award winners. The Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award is the university's highest student award for leadership and service. Our recipients of this award are, there's a male award and a female award, Riley Xavier Brady, who today receives a BS degree and has majored in marine science with a minor in German and a concentration in physical oceanography. And Caroline Linnea Westberg, who today receives her BA degree, majoring in international studies with two minors in leadership and advertising public relations. Let's recognize these wonderful students. And many other great individuals have helped you, class of 2016, get here today by guiding you or the university. First, ladies and gentlemen, the university's Board of Trustees, led by our chairman, the Honorable Gene War. Would the trustees now rise and receive our recognition for their devoted service? The trustees. And because board service requires tremendous family support, I would now like to recognize the spouses and other family members of the board who are here with us, as well as our First Lady, Patricia Moore Pastides. Would you all rise and be recognized on this side? Without the remarkable efforts of our highly dedicated faculty and their commitment to the balance, the difficult balance between teaching, scholarship, and service, you would not be here today. So will all of you now call to mind one or two or three of your favorite professors as I ask my faculty colleagues to rise. They represent all of the faculty and be recognized. Will the faculty please stand? And finally, Graduates, you're going to help me with this one, and you feel like standing when I say this, you can, and you can wave if you want. But we want to welcome our very special guests whose support and guidance and attention and nurturing and love have been so important to you, your friends and family. So graduates, let's stand, graduates. Let's try to find that special someone and show our friends and families how much we love them. Thank you. They love you, friends and families, but they're not treating for lunch today. I just want you to know that. Class of 2016 and guests, we now come to this part of the ceremony where the university will confer its highest recognition, the honorary doctoral degree. The achievements of our recipients are officially recorded in the degree citation printed in your program and should make clear to you why these individuals bring recognition and esteem to the university family. Interim Dean Roger Sawyer has 2 candidates for the honorary doctoral degree.
Mr. President, I have 2 candidates for the honorary degree, Doctor of Fine Arts, the husband and wife team of Rosa and Winton Eugene. The Eugenes are self-taught ceramic artists who have focused their efforts on achieving a level of technical excellence and thematic relevance that immediately becomes meaningful to admirers and collectors. Their role as creators of ceramic art adds value to the lives of others. They strive to generate new ideas, new designs, new forms, and continue to add to a body of work that has received attention from museums around the country. Their work is in numerous private collections, as well as permanent collections of the Asheville Art Museum, the International Folk Art Museum in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and in McKissick Museum here on our own USC campus. Rosa and Winton Eugene have been featured in nationally syndicated ETV programs, in the book Journey Through Hallowed Ground, and in the article Rosa and Winton Eugene, A Marriage of Making, which is featured in American Craft Magazine and in Southern Living Magazine.
Will the Honorable Leah Moody and the Honorable Mac Whittle of the university's Board of Trustees, along with Secretary Amy Stone, please escort the candidates to the rostrum. For their commitment to the aesthetic values of ceramic arts, for their legacy of diligence, excellence, and self-taught craft, and for their ongoing contributions to American art. The university, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, now presents Rosa Mae Dawkins Eugene and Winton Eugene for the honorary degree Doctor of Fine Arts. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, acting on behalf of the people of South Carolina, through the General Assembly of the state, I hereby do confer upon you the degree Doctor of Fine Arts honoris causa, together with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities to that degree appertaining. Congratulations to the new Doctors Eugene. Dean Honorary of the College of Engineering and Computing has a candidate for the honorary doctoral degree.
Mr. President, I have a candidate for the honorary degree Doctor of Business Administration. Mr. Timothy Keating is a leader in the area of public policy. As Senior Vice President of Government Operations for the Boeing Company, he has responsibility for directing and coordinating policy between the world's largest aerospace company and governmental operations at the federal, state, and local levels. Boeing is the leading manufacturer of commercial airplanes, military aircraft, and defense, space, and security systems. It supports airlines and U.S. allied government customers in more than 150 nations. We are proud that Boeing is now also a major manufacturer right here in our state.
Will the Honorable Jean Moore of the University's Board of Trustees and Amy Stone, Secretary of the Board, please escort the candidate to the rostrum. For his work in support of good governance, for his commitment to the manufacturing sector in the United States, and for his efforts to promote economic development and opportunity, the University of South Carolina, with the approval of its Board of Trustees, now presents Timothy Keating for the honorary degree of Doctor of Business Administration. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, acting on behalf of the people of South Carolina through the General Assembly of the state, I hereby do confer upon you the degree Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa, together with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities to that degree appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Keating, and welcome Dr. Keating to be your commencement speaker.
I certainly have to pull that down. To the Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for this great honor. And my thanks to President Pastides for your words today, but for your leadership of this amazing university. In particular, for your initiatives with respect to innovation, entrepreneurship, research and development, and most recently, cybersecurity. Along with the visionary policies and investments at the state level, the work of this university is making South Carolina a promising place in which to invest, build, and to grow. At Boeing, we've seen this firsthand. We decided to open a new airplane factory in North Charleston. And I'll tell you, nearly 7 years later, I never get tired of making that final descent into Charleston International Airport, where one can see brand new Boeing 787s on one side of the tarmac, and on the other side, Air National Guard C-17 cargo planes made by Boeing, parked in military precision on the other. Having said that, when President Pastides called me a few months ago and asked me to be your commencement speaker this morning, I confess my first thoughts were, are you sure you have the right phone number? My second thought wasn't better. I thought, are you sure you have the right Tim Keating? After all, when you look at the roster of baccalaureate speakers and honorary degrees, they're former presidents, vice presidents, senators, governors, captains of industries, and others of natural stature. So when I say I'm humbled to be here today, that's not a throwaway line. I truly am humbled to be here today. Now, before I get started, I want to acknowledge the proud parents and guardians. I suspect a few of you wondered if this day would ever come. Well, it's here. And it's here in large part because of your steadfast support and your sacrifice. And I want to acknowledge that up front. I also want to say a few words to the ROTC graduates here this morning. As the head of Boeing Government Operations Division, I'm privileged to have 35 veterans on my team. They range from retired generals and admirals to a former Army captain who was grievously wounded in Afghanistan. This out of a total of more than 21,000 veterans who are Boeing employees. They are men and women who reinforce the life and death importance of our products that we make and we support each day. And to all the new officers being commissioned, thank you. Thank you for your willingness to serve at such a consequential and perilous time. And when it comes time to hang up those uniforms and move on to the next phase of your professional life, please don't hesitate to come knocking on our door. Now to everyone else in the class of 2016, congratulations, you made it. You're here. And as proud as you are of your accomplishments today, and rightfully so, these occasions are about the future. They're about personal and professional journeys that begin tomorrow or shortly after. For those of you who are interested in reaching for the stars, and at Boeing, that literally means reaching for the stars. Our company could also be a place for you. But whatever career you choose, I'd like to share some experiences and insights that have helped me along the way. And why my journey was long and winding, I can promise you this morning that my remarks will not be long or winding. After more than 3 decades in Washington, D.C., and especially after partisan gridlock of recent years, it'd be easy to get cynical and downcast about the future. But I still hold the old-fashioned view that anyone can succeed and live the American dream. I'll bet they with a lot of hard work and some good luck, and by sticking to a few basics, but not necessarily easy principles to live and work by. I believe that because I lived it. My father was a construction worker, my mother a secretary. Together they managed to raise 6 children in a modest home. What that means was there was not a lot of disposable income. We all worked jobs in various places, the grocery store, the church rectory, Sears, pumping gas, or even paper routes. We were taught responsibility, we were taught respect, and most importantly, it was ingrained in us to work hard and to never let down those people who've given you a chance, no matter what the job or what the task. After graduating from college, I arrived in Washington, D.C. I basically knew no one, and like so many before me, I peddled my resume door to door. 2 opportunities developed. One was in the mailroom. The other was doing legislative correspondence for a member of Congress from Pennsylvania. So one job involved writing letters, the other job involved carrying letters. I chose the mailroom. You did hear that right. It allowed me to arrive every morning to the Capitol at 4 a.m. I'd sort mail, and while that was not what I had in mind when I applied to college, it allowed me to understand how Congress really worked from the inside out. I got to know the people that worked there, the police, the secretaries, the support staff, those people that made that place work, who could later help me and always keep me out of trouble. There was one other advantage. Starting early in the mailroom allowed me to finish early in the afternoon, which in turn allowed me to spend the rest of the days volunteering for House leadership offices. I answered phones, I gave tours, I opened mail. I generally did whatever was needed. For example, I was once told to drive a donated limousine from Detroit to Washington, D.C. was a more than 1,000-mile trip, and this thing was a beast. The gas mileage was so low, I had to stop just about every hour. Now, you can just imagine the scene of these truck stops when this huge black limo pulled up and this 20-something jumped out in shorts and flip-flops to fill it out. It really could have been in a movie. But better offers soon followed, leading eventually to work for the Speaker and later the President of the United States. But it all stemmed from that initial decision to take a job that necessarily wasn't the most prestigious in the world, yet it was one that offered me opportunity to learn both the job and elsewhere. Another important thing that I've learned over the years has to do with integrity. It's often invoked, not often well understood, and sometimes just not followed. After leaving the White House, and I'm not really going to talk publicly about that in this setting, I found that most companies that were knocking at my door had managed to get themselves into trouble for one reason or another. While I can give advice, I can raise money, I can put a strategy together, I can talk through difficult issues, the one thing that I will never be able to do is to repair my name or the name of the company that I represent if you do something wrong. And I will tell you that at some point, in probably not the distant future, each of you is going to face a challenge, a test, something that teeters on the edge of what is appropriate or not. It may be legal, it may be something you could be allowed, it could be something you could get away with. But I tell you now, have the confidence, have the courage, and have the conviction to say no and always do the right thing. Remember, you have to face the harshest critic each morning when you look in the mirror. Finally, his one wish as you start your professional life is a personal hope from me. It's that each of you find love or the right person to share your life with. I was lucky. I found the love of my life when I was 18 years old, and 36 years later, she is still that love. 29 years later, she is still my bride. Together, we've faced many challenges. We've laughed, we've cried, and we've done everything in between. But the one thing I know for sure is that we've made each other better. And I'm certain that I am successful because of her support, her strength, her friendship, and her love. What we have is a partnership. And like any partnership, whether in business, politics, or personal, it will only succeed with trust, lots of hard work, and a willingness to learn from one another. In closing, you have every reason to expect great professional success. In fact, I think you should demand it of yourselves. But never forget that when you do end up on the proverbial third base in life, it's probably not because you hit a triple. Lots of people who have helped you along the way, the people that love you, the people that have raised you, the people that have taught you, many of them are sitting in this room with you today. And there'll be more to come in the future. And then there will be a time when it's your turn to do the same for others. And remember to give back. One final story before I turn the microphone over. Last Saturday, a week ago, the President of the United States addressed his 8th and final Correspondents' Dinner. Now, the Correspondents' Dinner is this big Washington, D.C. event where Hollywood and Washington, D.C. meet and honor the media. And it's a long night. The President was absolutely amazing, very funny, on point. But he talked about the past 8 years. But his foreword at the end was about the future. And the President of the United States said to the crowd, "I have but two final words for you. Obama out." And he did a mic drop. Now, I'm not cool enough to do a mic drop. And I just couldn't get away with it, especially looking like a character from Harry Potter. But I do have two final words about the future. Go Cox.
Well, the class of 2016, you now know I did have the right phone number and we did have the right Tim Keating. Dr. Keating started in the mailroom and went to the stars. And for your commencement, he came here to give you his words of wisdom. I'm going to, as I ask you to thank him again, though, because he spoke so passionately about his partner, his bride, I'm going to ask Ann Keating to stand and Tim Keating to stand as we congratulate them and thank them one more time. Okay, so here we go. Commencement is a special occasion to all who have earned their degree. We are one of the few remaining comprehensive universities that will recognize each candidate by name. We now move to the awarding of the degrees. Provost Gable will present all candidates.
Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. President, all candidates who stand before me and others who cannot be present but whose achievement is being recorded officially by the university, having completed the requirements for their respective degrees, are herewith recommended by the faculty of the university for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in the University of South Carolina by the people of this state, acting through their representatives in the General Assembly and on the Board of Trustees of this institution, and on the recommendation of the faculty thereof, the university now confers upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended, together with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities to that degree appertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the class of 2016.
Members of the graduating class will please come forward as their names are called. We ask that all members of the audience remain in their seats throughout the program and that you, our guests this morning, please withhold your applause during the announcement of graduates' names. We ask this so as not to distract the announcers and also so that we do not drown out any family's ability to hear clearly. The respect we show our last graduate today is as important as the respect we show the first. I thank you in advance for your cooperation in maintaining the order and dignity of this ceremony. The Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Lacey Ford, will join President Pastides and the respective dean to greet recipients of the graduate degree. Remaining candidates may now be seated. Dean Steve Lynn joins President Pastides in greeting recipients from the South Carolina Honors College.
Ariane Charlotte Emily Robbins. Emma Sophia Satzker.
Interim Dean Roger Sawyer joins President Pastides in greeting recipients from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Leah Deng, Stanislav Trimbach, Ryan Michael Bieber, Thomas Rosario Cody, Michael Nels Cranston, Tyler Richard Evans, Samuel Allen Hackworth, Joe Franz Hidaksu, Lauren E. Huffman, Edward James Mazgai, Kristen A. McLaurin, Ashley Marie Moore, Angelica A. Ortiz, Carlene Lara Miller Ratcliffe, Andrew Walgren, Meredith Noel Will, Danielle Brooke Willis, Brian Mark Daniel Whitmore, Austin Ryan Claridge, Alexander Matthew Iannone, Monica Marie Jowika, Denoya Larissa Woods, Tawana Zahadi, Anna Michelle Berry, Rebecca May Warren Landau, Matthew Sane Mossman, Kaylee LaJoy Pennington, Anthony Michael Jablanecki, John Graber Crampion, Joel T. Bostic, Miranda J. Gore, Joshua Michael Helgo, Clayton Andrew Helm, Ricardo Cabilla, Aliyah R. Knotts, Connor Dockery Offson, Kristen Lane Spots, Napat Tandikal, Anthony Chastain Davis, Derek Musanio, Kelsey Rose Abbott, Daniel Ryan Abdelnabi, Emily Michael Acera, Rebecca Page Ackerman, Ryan Michael Adam, Jennifer Lee Adamo, Austin Tyler Adams, Charlotte Davis Adams, Toyisha Rena Adams, Luke Joseph Adelhelm, Nadia Leela Ashfshar, Chelsea Dane Allman, Catherine Blair Albert, Henry Galt Alexander III, Alexander Anthony Almager Jr., Sameha Abdul Asharif, Anna Lisette Andrews, Courtney Michelle Angadi Smith, Bryant Jeffrey Archie, Nicole F. Arzu, Vivian Renee Altman, James Powell Babb, Cody Addison Bookart, Alicia Ann Badley,
Christian Ryan Bailey, Madison Elizabeth Bailey, Chelsea Marie Baltz, Diana Barahona, Stuart Andrew Barfield, Kavan LaQuinton Barger, Kaylee Anna Barnes, Jessica Paige Barnes, Cornelius Jacques Barr, Dylan Michael Bartell, Sarah Elizabeth Barth, John Royce Barwick, Stephen Matthew Bassett, Kashana A. Bates, Kayla Hope Beavers, William Bruce Beck II, Alexandra Nicole Beckman, Mackenzie Louise Beliakoff Shoemaker, Nicholas Hess Bell, Julia L. Belton, David Austin Bennett, Taylor Ann Bennett, Samantha Lynn Benson, Caitlin Ann Bergen, Lauren Ashley Bernard, Kira Christine Byer, Alexa Nicole Black, Benjamin Roland Blaise, Destiny Lakerson Blue, Creighton Radcliffe Boggs, Jonathan Gustav Bonenberger, Rachel Maitland Boland, Zachary Bolch, Jamie Nicole Bowler, Alexis Marie Bombino, Zachary Ryan Bookman, Emily Taylor Boone, Evelyn Birkenrode Borries, May Lee Bradford, William Joshua Bradley, Kelly Earl Brady, Ashley Brooke Bramlett, Corey Mark Branham, Arthur Craig Braswell, Taylor Lee Braswell, Brittany Annetta Brayboy, Alita Tess Brazil, Alexis Marie Brewy, Stephanie Ann Brinkman, Marissa Peggy Broadnax, Caitlin Lindsay Brockington, Megan Kathleen Brooks, Courtney Diane Broussard, Ryan Christopher Brower, Amber Brianna Brown, Catherine Marie Brown, Elizabeth Ann Brown, Meredith Lee Brown, Stephen Parker Brown, Travis Sean Brown, Amber Shanice Brown Rogers, Aquevel Kevin Brunson, Jaleel Rashad Brunswick, Ashley Denise Buck, Anna Scruggs Buffkin, Alyssa Ann Buford, Brittany Ann Bunny, Molly Ingalls Birdsall, Harold Robert Berg Jr., Anna Catherine Burke, Carl Scott Burnitz, Stephen Richard Burr, Olivia Adriana Butler, Fajon Cake, Cameron Lanier Caldwell, Claudia Maria Calero, Evan Robert Callahan, Kiara Maxine Canan, Charles Albert Canova, Christina Isabella Cantu, Jamie Nicole Caponera, Caroline Rose Caparozzi, Alexandria Lynn Caputo, Alexis Elizabeth Carino, Elena Evelyn Carr, Michael Alberto Carrera, Allison Carroll, Victor Manuel Castillo, Michael Edgar Castro, Diego Fernandez Caula, Sydney K. Cervantes, Rebecca Nicole Chandler, Anna Hall Chapman, Hannah Parker Charles, Haley Samantha Chestnut, Kenneth Lanier Childre Jr., Carolyn Ann Clark, Jeannie Renee Clark, Catherine Snow Clemens, Maddie Gray Clifton, Harrison Jet Coates,
Cassidy Diane Cohick, Cassidy Noel Coleman, Catherine Michelle Coleman, Randolph Brandon Allen Coley, Erica Danielle Collington, Jordan Alexandria Consort Moore, Delia Guadalupe Contreras, Louis Milton Cook Jr., Aisling Ain Corcoran, Mitchell Ian Cornett, Hannah Marie Costanza, Clara Ruth Couch, Faith Alexandra Cox, Bradley E. Crane, Erica Brooke Crane, Garrett Allen Creed, Kayla Marie Kreps, Catherine Carson Crisco, Emmy Rebecca Colclaser, Clint Culver, Thomas O'Neill Cushman II, Brooke Elizabeth Daly, Mason Lee Daly, David William Daniels II, Amani Bavar Miriam Davies, Tiana Margaret Davis, Haley Nicole Davlin, Brian Lewis Dean, Lynette Arlene DeBosch, Natalie Alexandra DeCenzo, Alexis Caroline Deese, Sydney Ann Demery, Robert Thomas Devane, Sarah Jane Devons, Haley A. Dorrell, Rachel Marie Dowd, John Kennedy Doughton, Jr., Jasmine Yvette Doxey, Caroline Frances Doyle, Charles Scott Drago, Allison Nicole Driscoll, Sean Michael Dreyer, Jessica Lynn Duffy, Michael Patrick Duggan, Gregory Charles Dunkel II, Colleen Patricia Dunn, Jordan S. Dupree, Philip Adden Diamond, Ashley Rhiannon Ergel, Brianna Hawkins Ergel, Robert Lubbs Eaton, Kristen Brooke Eves, Rachel Noel Eves, Ashley Michelle Edmiston, Anna Chilton Edwards, Jordan Edward Wendell Edwards, Tyler Caitlin Egan, Allison Marie Eguchi, Bethany Caroline Alick, Laura Rebecca Renee Elder, Lauren Elizabeth Ellis, Jacob Gant Elsie, Sarah Elizabeth Inslee, Maura Ann Epps, Shade Nicole Aaron Falemi, Eric Lamont Evans, Alexander Charles Fabregat, Joseph Fagan, Samuel J. Fela, Miranda Renee Fair, Summer Felgoski, Aaron Jean Farrell, Robert Michael Fadovic, Kelly Hope Felder, Danielle Catherine Felico, Allison Claire Ficklin, Caroline Margaret Fink, Kayla Elizabeth Finn, Laura McKay Fleming, Christian Russell Fleming, Zachary Ayers Fletcher, Joshua David Floyd, Samantha Grace Flynn, Stephen Elliott Fogel, Taylor Lindsay Fontan, Clarence Lee Ford III, Lauren Ashley Formoso, Tiffany Nicole Forrest Smith, Samuel William Forst, Gardner Jane Foster, Joelle Tayayana Foster, Annette K. Footy, Carmen Willie Fowler.
Nicholas Addison Fowler, Augusta Emmeline Fox, Skoto Bellinger Fox, Alexi Christoph Frere, Tiffany Lena Marie Fraley, Anne Elizabeth Frazier, Bradley Harper Fuller, Catherine Ann Funderburk, Jasmine Funn, Brianna Monique Gadsden, Cullen Latham Gallimore, Courtney Josetta Gant, Caroline Louisa Garris, Ryan Jeffrey Goucher, Dylan Scott Gall, Abigail Helen Geedy, Samantha Joan Geisedorfer, Hunter Miles Gerald, Douglas Colin Gibson, Elizabeth Spencer Gilchrist, Arabia Olivia Gilliam, Jennifer Rose Gilman, Maria C. Giraldo, Kevin James Glick, Laura Beth Godnick, Kayla Eve Gobelbecker, Rachel Danielle Gogan, Christian Elizabeth Going, Dylan Richard Gonzalez, Mariah Carol Godwin Amos, Jillian Manning Graff, Robertson Lane Gramling, Kelly Eileen Grasso, Natasha Lynn Gravel, Gabrielle Simone Gray, Chase Mitchell Green, Makia Nicole Green, Ashley Kanika Jade Griffin, Zachary David Griffin, Elaine Madeline Griffith, Colby Benjamin Grigg, Davida Devon Gripper, Samantha Lee Gronberg, Marjorie Elise Grun, Kara Elizabeth Haysaker, Alexander Joseph Hall, Madison Taylor Hall, Robert Coleman Haltom, Benjamin Nathaniel Hammett, Ree Han, Bryce Edward Harmon, Walter Roby Harper, Kiana Danielle Harrison, Olivia Hassler, Jane Elizabeth Hastings, Shannon Ann Healy, Sarah Richardson Hearn, Tanner Mackenzie Hedrick, Claire Shanner Hempel, Kate Marie Hessick, Stephanie Ann Hetzer, Sarah Kathleen Hilton, Megan Alexandra Hinton, Natalie Jean Hobson, Luke N. Hodges, Ira Herbert Hoel III, Jessica Mayfield Hoff, Peter William Hoffman, Haley Dawn Holcomb, Cammie Brianne Holder, Jonathan Shane Holt, Natalie Rose Hobson, Francis Layden Horde, Melise Nicole Hornston, Joseph Charles Hoskins, Sierra Elizabeth Hoskins, Elizabeth Rosa Hauk, Anita Alicia Hubbard, Brandine Alyssa Huggins, Annalise Lorraine Hugan, Brian Matthew Hughes, Rhea Lee Hughes, Timothy Paul Hughes, Ryan David Humphrey, James Michael Hussman, Matthew Henry Hutchis, Jacob Tyler Hutchison, Holly Rachel Ingram, Kayla Chantel Ingram, Jaquan Edmar Irby, Jameson Lee Irick, Ashley Corbin Jackson, Brittany Kamika Jackson, Charlotte Maris Jackson, Jared Christopher Jackson,
Paige McKinsey Jackson, Harold John Jacobson, David Niles Jacobus, Alex Gunnar James, Jasmine Michelle James, Rachel Ann James, Shamori McCown Mayown Jenkins, Taylor L. Jesenik, Brandon Jared Johnson, Brooke Lee Johnson, Corey Todd Johnson Jr., Kaylee Joe Johnson, Marcus Christopher Johnson, Sarah Nicole Johnson, Madison Etta Johnston, Amber Monique Jones, Catherine Linnea Jones, Patrick Johnston, Charles Richard Jones III, Kevin Michael Jones, Spencer Mark Jones, Aubrey Celeste Jordan, Kirkland Hammond Jordan, Trayvon Daquan Jordan, Zachary Thomas Jordan, Taylor Lee Josephs, Sean Karch, Jonathan Mendel Kaufman, John Avery Keeney, Bridget Grace Kearney, Jesse Ray Keeney, Claire Elizabeth Kelly, Kenneth Wendling Kendrick III, Ashley B. Kennedy, Stuart J. Kennemore, Sean Philip Kern Jr., John Anthony Kerr Jr., Michael P. Cadane, Sadresha Sade Killingsworth, Ryan Sterling King, Brogan Marie Kirby, Caitlin Marie Kitchens, Katie Ann Klein, Sarah Marie Klein, Kendall Lee Connect, Dakota Aaron Keenans, Bobby Morgan Knotts, Kira Nicole Koppel, Katrina Lynn Kuperwitz, Alexander Sheehan Cranen, Jacqueline Kwasniewski Lechner, Abu B. Lamine, Jessica Marguerite Landrum, Lawrence Daniel Lane, Tucker Parkett Langhorn, Philip Lanier, Jr., Rebecca Buckley LaPere, Hannah McKenzie Lapp, William Andrew Latour, Ashley Ann Latta, Jordan Kelly Lawing, Nathaniel Calder Leach, Rylan David Learman, Bobby Jean Levens, Matthew Landon Lee, Leon David Leggett III, Valerie Ann Letko, Laquana Renee Lewis, Philip Andrew Lewis, Yacinth Nayora Lewis, John Vincent Lichtenberg, Brittany Rose Lieberman, Mary Catherine Lillard, Cedric Morel Linton, Hannah Marie Livengood, Samantha Nicole Lockwood, Brianna Nicole Long, Danielle Elaine Long, Charlotte Eleanor Loper, Timothy Nelson Lorick, Madison Taylor Lundy, Morgan Elaine Lundy, Jordan Rebecca Mabry, Rebecca Ashley Maeda, Victoria Ray Mahoris, Michael Joseph Mallory, Ryan Lawrence Maloney, Ladidra Yasmin Manning, Emily Kathleen Marchant, Nicholas Sebastian Margalio, Emily Ruth Martin, Kelsey A. Martin, Mary Frances Martin,
Rachel Elizabeth Martin, Duncan William Martineau, Connor Patrick Matthews, Rachel Michaela Malden, Morgan Louise May, Brian Hunter McAfee, Ashley Leanne McCarthy, Shanda Latisse McLean, Lisa McClary, Brett Russell McCone, Cara Wanette McCrae, Stacy Lynn McCrae, Charles Samuel McDonald, Kelly Grace McDonald, Alan Christopher McDonough, Samuel Matthew McDowell, Cameron Elizabeth McDuffie, Ellen Marie McGott, Michelle Elizabeth McGee, Lauren Elizabeth McGinn, Joel Nicholas McIntyre, Ryan Kenneth McIntyre, Rebecca Lee McKernan, Madeline Namur McKiernan, Logan Breeding McVeigh, Austin Brittany Lee Meckling, Luke Thomas Meisenbacher Jr., Joshua Ray Mercer, Nicole Marie Myers, Jared Daniel Michaud, Miranda Renee Millerick, Alexandra Elizabeth Millard, Molly Louise Mills, Lauren Takoya Mims, Endry Mintz, Leslie Sue Masika, Ashley Renee Mitchell, Connor Jackson Mitchell, Alexis Christina Mock, James Matthew Moeller, Taylor Lee Montanari, Tamara LaQuashan Moon, Ellery Margaret Moore, Patrick Lee Moore, Marcia Lee Moorman, Catherine P. Mooring, Corey Ezekiel Morell, Emily Rose Morris, Jessica Marie Morris, Ryan I. Morris, Randy Shea Moscow, Neely Jean Moss, Christine Elizabeth Moda, Alexis Camille Murphy, Clarence Murray Jr., Caroline Cody Mooser, Sarah Elizabeth Nellermo, Matthew Christian Nesmith, Ross Pearson Newhouse, Zoe Bridget Newhouse, Chelsea Brianna Newton, Dallas Shania Nicholson, Austin James Nix, Louis Christopher Namir, Carly Sarah Known, James Mark Nunez, Morinke Okalawan, Bailey Sharp Oliger, Amelia Mikkel Olson, Kathleen Stowe Osborne, Paul Jason Osborne, Ryan Alexandria Ott, Jesse Sarah Owen, Ryan Christopher Owens, Melissa Danielle Pacifico, Nicolette Damasita Pappas, Rashani Tushar Parikh, Caitlin Victoria Parker, Elizabeth Carolyn Parker, Hudson Morse Parr, Emily Welsh Parrish, Tyler Jennings Parsons, Asmita Kamlesh Patel, Ivani Ramesh Patel, Ravi Patel, Abigail Collins Patrick, Eric Markevius Patterson, Andrew Benjamin Pierce, Jacob D. Pelton, Venetia Lachey Pendergrass,
Charles Allen Perkins, Kira Marie Perkins, Ashton Kai Peterson, Sarah Kate Philibert, Mary Elizabeth Phillips, Jason Brian Picklesheimer Sr., Dalton Blake Pike, Diamond Gadishu Pilgrim, Michael Steve Pena Gomez, Celeste Lynn Pompey, Anna Marie Porter, Jordan Robert Portillo, August Reeves Potts, Matthew Pearson Price, Mackenzie Tyler Price, Stetson Wakefield Price, Dylan Tate Prince, Mark Neal Prince Jr., Mackenzie Marshall Prothrow, Zachary Ward Pryor, Samantha Elizabeth Purcell, Ashley Nicole Queen, Eduardo Quinones Jr., Cameron Jeffrey Radinovic, Julia Michelina Radney, Julia Ann Reagan, Raul David Raganuth, Samantha Michelle Ramsey, Corey Peyton Ransom, Matthew Chase Rathbone, Megan Ann Roundhorst, Alexa Michelle Rawl, Maggie Kathleen Reed, Stephanie Lauren Reeves, Sierra Maisha Register, Cameron Nicholas Renschler, Crystal Gail Reynolds, Brooke Elizabeth Rhodes, Kiana Sierra Rhodes, Brent Michael Rickey, Aveen McCarthy Rice, Emily Holden Richardson, Anna Marie Ridenour, Christopher Mark Riddlehoover, Elizabeth Christabel Regal, Jarrett Tyler Ritter, Sonny A. Rivers II, Andrew Connor Rourke, Aaliyah Lachey Rowery, Michael Tyus Roberson, Rachel Diane Roberts, Ari Aaliyah Robinson, Kristen Catherine Roche, Alexandra Amelia Rogers, Carly Ray Rogers, Matthew Gordon Rogers, Jason Edward Rogovich, Avery Therese Romano, Christina Ann Romano, Charles Dwayne Rosborough, Stephanie Ruth Rugo, Patrick William Rowe, Preston James Ruffing, Perry Emerson Rugen, Sheridan Ray Ruiz, Angela Leah Runyon, Maxwell Christian Ruaco, Joseph Anthony Ruotalo, Kate Elizabeth Rushing, Clayton Michael Ryan, Ellie Jo Ryan, Janan E. Sabre, Frances Elizabeth Sally, Savannah K. Salter, Darren Brett Sanders, Jason Scott Sanders, Samuel David Sanders, Tasha Nicole Sanders, Christopher Conlon Santos, Lane Elizabeth Satcher, Christopher Wade Schemer Jr., Morgan Bridget Schroeder, Paul Warren Seabrook, Madeline L. Seaver, Caroline Rose Selby, Haley Margaret Salert, Mitchell Joseph Sewell, Neil Patrick Shea, Devin Christian Sherrill, Christine Teresa Shetzko, Julia Grace Schillinglaw, Stephen Lloyd Shumway, Casey Elizabeth Signorino, Payne Tyler Silk,
Joseph Victor Silveri III, Virginia Marie Simmons, Paige Alyssa Simon, Lauren Elizabeth Simmons, Anthony Pierre Sims, Dustin Ray Smith, Gerard Smith, Harrison Ty Smith, Cambrell Danae Smith, Rachel Caroline Smith, Sarah Graves Smith, Shane Vivian Smith, Amber Lee Snellgrove, McKenna Catherine Snyder, Daniel Carl Soderstrom, Nicholas Salvador Sotilli, Kia Chantel Spears, Shelby Lane Spears, Destiny D. Spires, Matthew James Starace, Corey Smith Steimel, Alex Matthew Steiner, Joseph Stephen Stephen, Matthew Ariella Stevens, Allison A. Stepp, Sierra Michaela Stewart, Don Jacob Stewart, Holly Marie Stewart, Sequoia Denisha Stewart, Andrew Thomas Stidham, Colin Scott Stillbauer, John Thomas Stupenos, Albert Mack Strickland Jr., Carly Ann Strobach, Daniel Boone Stroman, Elizabeth Ashley Stryker, Mallory Elizabeth Suggs, Kara Elise Swisher, Laura Catherine Tarbo, Hannah Naomi Tedder, Emily Lane Tedesco, Magdalene Ellen Tedecki, Jessica Robin Turpening, Jordan Stephen Thayer, Michael Morgan Thayer, James Caleb Joseph Thomas, Kiana L. Thomas, Jared Allen Thompson, William Joseph Threkeld, Crystal L. Tobias, Maxine Tyler Todd, Richard James Tolliver, Brett William Topolsky, Gabe Klein Townsend, Alexander David Tripp, Aylin Ulker, Truxton Umstead III, Natalie Cara Underwood, Caitlin Valad, Madison Riley Valerio, Lisa Marie Joanne Van Baren, Olivia Marion Van Sluten, Alfredia Brenda Vanderpoy, Alexander Nicholas Vera, Evan Lawrence Vile, Rebecca Jane Wackham, Frederick Jennings Walker, Robert Aaron Walker, Mackin Annie Cannell Wall, Mary Catherine Wall, Alicia Eleanor Walsh, Brittany Morgan Ward, Allison Marietta Warwick, Johnson Patton Waterer, Mitchell David Watford, Ryan Matthew Watts, Caroline Ray Waugh, Cassandra Ann Webster, Kelly Renee Weed, Christopher Robert Weimer, Heather Miranda Welsh, Carly Janae Wells, Abby London Wendelkin, Emily Margaret West, Caroline Linnea Westberg, Marina Joy Whetstone, Edward Michael Wheeler, Robert LaForest Wheeler, Darcy Grace Whelan, Crystal Chandra White, Emily Claire White, Joseph Hal White II, Justin Reed White, Timothy Daniel Wilbur,
Brittany Octava Wilds, Ariel Lynette Wilkie, Jennifer Lynn Wilkins, Ursula Rose Wilkinson, Albert DeQuan Williams, Dorian Charles Williams, Haley Ann Williams, Marion Louise Williams, Shanna Lilla Williams, David Dalton Willis I, Justin Daniel Wills, Kristen Allen Wilson, Shatera Shanae Wilson, Whitney R. Wilson, Darren James Witt, Taylor Nicole Wolfrey, Kelsey Virginia Wood, Alfonso Curday Woodward, Justin Michael Workman, Jaron Malik Ray, Devon Matthew Wright, Kiana Alea Wright, Rianne Renee Wright, Matt Clifton Yates, Jordan Ashley Yelmans, Stephen Curtis Young, Jr., Mason Ali Zandy, Amanda Marie Zavala, Raymond Hunter Zielinski, Grace Carol Zimmerman, Jacob Isaac Zook, Edward Bopace Lee, Tierra Smith, Eric Anthony Hicklin, Jr., Lauren Lee Lance, Catherine Eleanor Paget Beard, Kyle Lewis Alston, Corinne Elizabeth Bajima, Brandon Allen Brazel, Julianne Caldwell Bursinger, Stephanie Nicole Campbell, Dana Nicole Carlston, Ariana Caper Sims Derrick, Wendy Solange Diaz, Haley Allison Durham, Abigail Elizabeth Ernest, Robert Joe Gaines III, Jordan Rachel Gable, Paul Harold Haynes, Sydney Amelia Hoyt, Carly Jade Kemplin, Cody Allison Kratzer, Casey Cassaw, Shayna Nicole Manuel, Melody Janice Ng, Wesley Mackenzie Peterson, Jennifer Pham, Taylor Michelle Times, Taylor Anderson Wickstrom, Xavier Dejan Wilson, Rosanna Catherine Budden, Susan Marie Payne, Rawan Wael Abdulaslam, Reina Abedini, Riham Omar Obahashem, Andrew Thomas Akins, Christina Melinda Alford, Rebecca Lauren Alley, Leah Alexandra Alvin, Carson Jean Ames, Christian Chad Anthony, Amanda Danielle Arnold, John William Arnold V, Jacob Anthony Arvia, Shango Huamosia Asante, Brian David Aspady, Joanna Garrett Austin, John David Austin Jr., Justin O'Brien Austin, Juan Carlos Zavallo, Claude Cornelius Backman, Raisman Amari Baker, Sarah Elizabeth Baker, Andrew Mason Gaines Banks, Cheryl Quirk Barnes, Donovan Trevin Barton, Michael Brandon Bauer, Ashton Noel Baxter, Karina Sakumas Bayless, Sarah Elizabeth Bailiff, Kiana Patricia K. Belunger, Jessica Lauren Bell,
Kendall Deshawn Bell, Michael Leland Bell, Kendall Dion Ballard, Robert Gregory Benson, Kyle Adith Berdugo, Mary Elizabeth Bestie, Eric Alexander Bethea, Sajal Bahula, Sydney Lauren Bickerstaff, Wade Cullen Biltoff, Faith Elizabeth Bindernagel, Alton Bannister Bishop IV, Jose Alexis Blanco, Tyler Ryan Blodell, Lindsay Taylor Bloom, Carly Marie Blumenstein, Keegan Clark Bonnet, Peter Elliott Botsis, Ali Madison Bowers, Riley Xavier Brady, Ryan Michael Bragel, William Turner Brogdon IV, John David Brooks, Christina Lynn Marie Brown, Olivia Jasmine Brown, Catherine Elizabeth Bruxter, Patrick Robert Bushwald, Elena Marie Buff, Vivian Bui, Wendisha Marie Bird, Parker Ja Bynum, Victoria A. Kane, Emily Catherine Callan, Jocelyn Campo, Nicholas Salvador Carnabucci, Sarah Marie Carrata, Robert Marshall Carroll, William Mason Casanova, Riley Frederick Chambers, Lauren Key Chansey, Deval Dvarman Chauhan, Alicia Madeline Chirpika, Courtney Heath Childs, Anil Seth Chowdhury, Sona Kanika Chowdhury, Angela Jill Cirillo, Jonathan Tyler Clark, Natalie Ashley Clark, Garrett Blake Coates, Rachel Elaine Cobb, Chelsea Devan Colburn, Camila Monique Coleman, James Elliott Cooper, Erica Ann Coppage, Alexia Cortez, Colin Matthew Constantino, Lindsay Brianna Coulter, Ashley Lauren Craig, John Everett Craver, Roderick Lane Cross II, Catherine Elizabeth Crossan, Miranda Page Crump, Alyssa Dawn Cumby, Lawrence Nicholas Dianucci, Taylor Alexandria Darling, Sydney Rose Darrow, Alcenio DiMargio Davis, Jeffrey Layton Davis, Kelly Elizabeth Davis, Nicholas Wagner Derderian, Esha Amisha Desai, Sarah Nicole Desmond, Caroline Elizabeth Dewey, David Joshua DiBello, Catherine Isabel Driscoll, Chase Anthony Duncan, Keegan McGrail Dunkley, Daniel Lewis Dunn, Eleanor Mills Eckert, Charlotte Ann Ekman, Spencer Reed Fair, Veronica Dorothy Farrell, Matthew Ian Feigl, Kelsey Lee Firestein, Tyler Joseph Fiorenza, Callie Nicole Fletcher, Matthew John Fordham, Maxwell John Forst, Alyssa Marie Fowler, Caitlin E. Frank, Melissa Kristen Fritas, Emily Marguerite Friends, Samantha Lee Gaetiani,
David Michael Galban, Graham Alistair Gamble, Madison Riley Gassman, Sarah Elizabeth Girth, Ronald Turner Galen, Lawden Garami, Deanna Elizabeth Giardino, Danielle Caitlin Gibbs, Zachary Adam Glussman, Michael Nicholas Goida, Alicia Victoria Grant, Kevin Lawrence Gray, Chandler Jordan Green, Kayla Ty Greason, Samuel Burnett Grief, Jennifer Lee Grimm, Lakita Monique Grissett, Megan Marie Grogan, Aaron Rose Gordarian, Dylan Taylor Geis, Mavinder Kaur Goram, Taylor Marie Hall, Eric Robert Hancock, Joshua McBride Haney, Imani Mahalia Hanley, Christina Marie Harkins, Michaela Nicole Hartley, Campbell Ryan Hathaway, Luke Timothy Havens, Sabrina L. Haynes, Zoe Renee Hedquist, Travis Richard Hedrick, Eric James Henderson, Nicholas David Herzer, Allison Ray Hickman, LaRosa Monet Hickson, Tommy Tien Ho, Adley Morgan Hoffman, Jacob Paul Hoffman, Braden George Polaus, Alexandra Tatiana Holland, Abigail Grace Holly, Germany, Deanna Holmes, Brittany Marie Holzenbach, Michaela Abra Honkamp, Logan Eugene Hood, Thomas Mitchell Hornaday, Leah Kelly Hortzmeyer, Katrina Clara Hounshell, Thomas Evans Humphreys, Sarah Nicole Hilton, Carly Sierra Ingram, Sunil Krishnan Iyer, Kelly Lynn Jackson, Ian Patrick Ginstrom, Davian Shabazz Johnson, Emma Ronan Johnson, Haley Adele Johnson, Jordan Nicole Jones, Shanice Latrell Joyner, Benjamin Abraham Jumper, Jesse Lee Cadlick, Cameron Gregory Kahn, Catherine Rachel Kane, Sanchit Kapoor, Giovanna Immaculata Karpowitz, Rachel Lauren Kelly, Amanda Rose Kent, Marab Saeed Kankar, Hui Nuat Ku, Igor A. Kilimnik, Mary Stewart King, Simon Adam King, Vincent Gabrielle Clapper, Natasha Ashley Kruger, Jamie Holland Larkin, Andrew Willis Laughlin, Bradford Patrick Law II, Tess Marie Lawhon, In Guan Lee, John Lee, Tyler Stein Lee, Rachel Marie Lamoliphant, Nicholas Robert Lenz, Jenna Marie Liu, Jeremy Ryan Lewis, Taylor Marie Lindsay, Stephanie Ann Livingston, Matthew Forrest Lawless, Kiara Shanice Long, Ebony Cherie Lunsford, Brittany Alicia Mackey, Samantha Marie McQueston, Connor Stephen Mayo,
Benjamin Robert Marosites, Kyle Leland Martin, Taylor Kimberlia Martin, Rachel Elise Mascari, Christian Taylor Matheny, Benjamin Pierre Mather, Andrew Harling Mason, Morgan Ashley McBride, Richard Sterling McCain Jr., Latrondra Chanel McCoy, Kayla Marie McCullough, James Edward McGolcrick IV, Eleanor Carmen McIntosh, George Edward McIntosh, Jonathan Bruce McLemore, Clinton LeGrand McLemore Jr., Ethne Christine McWhorter, Michaela Lee Meadows, Carla Michelle Mendoza Marrero, Nicole Ray Mertel, Ashley Amanda Micheluzzi, Zachary Garrett Milan, Blair Elizabeth Mimro, James Bradley Mitchell, Megan Elise Mitchell, Victoria Marcole Mitchell, Justin Ansoon Moore, McKinley Allen Moore, Kyle Hayden Marini, Trevor Lloyd Morris Jr., Campbell Bruce Mousseau, Shelby Jean Mueller, Sharad Seth Kumaran Nair, Jacob Quinton Forrester Neal, Patrick Robert Nebel, Elena Dolores Nelson, Trey Core Nettles, Joseph Kwang Hung Win, Anna Margaret Nitskin, Alexandra Paige Norelli, Lauren Elizabeth O'Connor, Rachel Lillian Odster, Ian Soichi Okinaga, Sydney Alexis Orwig, Brennan Walker O'Shea, Andres Philippe Ospina, Leah Marie Ott, Michael Richard Otten, Michael Carl Owens, Mindert Papanwazen, Jessica Rose Parent, Lahari Pramal Parikh, Kendall Marone Parrott, Kishan Sanjay Kumar Patel, Rima Jagtishan Patel, Sanal Japrikash Patel, Eric Camp Patterson, Lee Hartwell Perry, Courtney Dora Peterson, Cora Aaron Petiak, Brittany Victoria Patelli, Mackenzie Taylor Polk, Olivia Ann Pope, Anna Maria Portales, Brooke Lindsay Powell, Dustin Jarrell Prelo, Derek Allen Priester, Julia Ann Prodel, Christian Patrick Polano, Samantha Jo Quattlebaum, Taylor Elizabeth Radford, Zoe Elena Rainey, Ashley Nicole Ramsey, McKinley Derek Randolph, Alexander Joseph Ravitz, Matthew McInnes Reeser, David Chat Reccia, Charles Ellis Reese, Peter John Ribingingo, Stephen Joseph Richelli, Samuel Bryce Richardson, Mary Victoria Riddle, Kathleen Carol Riley, Emma Hallman Reiser, Cynthia Michelle Rourke, Andrea Michelle Robertson, Catherine Ann Rogue Jones, Lauren Jamie Rapolo, Erin Alyssa Rosling, Corey Alexander Russell, Hannah Lee Russell, Jessica Marie Russell, Dylan Allen Rutland, Emma Elaine Saber, Peter Mason Sabo,
Walter Lee Samuel III, Edward Anthony Sanchez Jr., Hannah Marie Santos, Tyler Douglas Souter, Catherine Pose Sayre, Allison Haley Shriro, Jacqueline Summer Schultz, Shane Elliott Scurry, Sydney Lauren Cease, Alexandra Lee Selleck, Sydney Anna Severin, Milan Jitendra Shah, Chandler Brooks Sharp, Allison Marie Shaw, Taylor Victoria Shearer, Megan Claire Sheehan, Dylan Thomas Shields, Karen Elizabeth Schultz, Shelby Elizabeth Simmons, Adarshit Singh, Akash Sinha, Victoria Michelle Sipos, Gregory Allen Sipple, Hannah Victoria Slice, Paris Todd Smalls, Caroline Allison Smith, DeMonte Monique Smith, Jordan Tyler Smith, Katie Lorraine Smith, Kayla Danielle Smith, Marla Elizabeth Smith, Jamila Grace Sweden, Laura Ann Stearns, Kylie Anna Stevens, Andrea Blair Stokes, Haley Christine Stone, Joseph Dewey Stone IV, Allie Graves Stugart, Corinna Gabriella Suri, Courtney Jean Swink, Maria Catalina Tamayo, Tamargail Kalayo Tarrant, Haley Nicole Tassani, Mandy Jamelia Tate, Colia C. Taylor, Alexandra Enos Tishon, Caitlin Marie Timms, Gabrielle Ryan Thompson, Laura Jane Thompson, Morgan Elise Tillman, Tatiana Alexis Timor, Wesley Graham Tyndall, Terry Bradley Trent, Casey Lorraine Trexler, Sarah Elizabeth Truesdale, Anna Phuong Trong, Jonathan Antonio Mont-Tucker, Kenneth M. Turner, Allison Michelle Van Scoik, Emily Lauren Van Cedars, Tony Ann Michelle Venturelli, Nathan Lee Waddell, Morgan Drew Walker, Caitlin Genevieve Ward, Whitney Shaniqua Washington, Kayla Michelle Webb, Zoradia Sierra Weber, Carson Caroline West, Connor Allen West, Addison Mae White, Kevin John Will, Ashley Shantea Williams, Victoria Nicole Willingham, Ashley Elizabeth Wilson, Michael Sterling Wasson, Rosemary Wilson, Elizabeth Darby Winter, Crystal Elise Wood, Richard Kenneth Wood III, Jerice Lashea Woodard, Laura Alexandra Woodley, Kristen Sharice Woods, Ben Moshe Yekiel, Daniel Wallace Young, Gregory Michael Young, Dominique Shante Taylor, Cameron Dion Lowry, Charles Leroy Nipper Jr., Christopher D. Duvall, Sierra Boykin, Elena Victoria Benswasson, Nathan Ferris Berry, Jeffrey Lewis Langston, Kelly M. McCabe, Mackenzie Alexandra Meese Rail, Mitchell Allen Smith, Juno Sohn, Branford Oliver Wilkins, Nicole Marie Witten, Sean Stanley, Wesley Lyle Hayward, Shanquetta Monique Brown, Kelly Vicario, Kendall Rose Pennington, Elizabeth Carlisle Sheridan, and Brenda Stevens Mercer.
Well, anybody want to do that all over again? We won't do it all over again. You know, I know these truly are STEM graduates. They had high energy. They were extremely mannerly, a nice, firm handshake, not too soft, not too hard. They worked well as a team in unison. And, best part, very little sweat today, so that was terrific. There were a few selfies and even a shoe. I think the shoe got picked up, though, so. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for these new graduates, the class of 2016. And I'm going to have a little more fun with the graduates. Now I'd like to invite you to hear from the president of the My Carolina Alumni Association, but it's your Carolina Alumni Association. Its president, member of our Board of Trustees, Paula Harper Bethay. Let's welcome her.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dr. Keating, welcome to the Gamecock family, and thank you very much. Heartfelt congratulations to each of you alumni. It is truly the best time to be a Gamecock. Our university has never been more alive or more successful or more relevant. Our energy is palpable, and you are a big part of that energy. Graduates, you may not have known when you first chose Carolina that you were embarking on a lifelong relationship with our university and your nearly 300,000 fellow alumni. Today, and for the remainder of your life, you are a Gamecock. The ring you now wear is an outward symbol of your connectivity to our university and to one another. Until today, you have worn your ring facing inward toward your heart. At this time, I ask you as official alumni of the University of South Carolina to turn your rings outward to face the world. While at Carolina, you have added value to our university, and you have grown tremendously as individuals. So today, I challenge and encourage each of you to honor your time here by helping those who will come after you. Be a mentor, inspire others, and serve our university as we work to make our state, our nation, and the world a better place. Come back here often and know you're always welcome in your brand new alumni home. We built it for you, as well as for those who came before you and those who will follow. My Carolina really is yours. Welcome to the family, Gamecocks. Congratulations, Godspeed, and forever to thee.
Thank you, Ms. Bethay. Now, as the students were coming up, they were, as I said before, courteous and mannerly. Many of them said things like, "Thank you, Prez, best years of my life." But a couple of them said, I'm not sure what it meant, they said, "Boom, boom, boom." If that you think might have anything to do with next year's football season, do you think we might get inspired? Can we do a Gamecock chant together? Half of you do game. Who wants to do game and who wants to do Cox? Game and Cox. Could we all stand together? We're going to do it 3 times, and after the third, though, we're going to do something else and have fun. So stay standing after that, but quiet down. Okay, here we go. Everybody together, this side. And now, you know, if we didn't do the tassel changeover, you'd still get your degrees, but I'm going to look at this as the moment at which you go, that instant, in fact, where you go from student to alumnus or alumna of the university. Won't that be a great sight to behold? So let's do it all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's be seated once again. Final words for you. Let me make a recommendation. If your luncheon reservations, if you're not running late for them, or if you are, then you could do this after. Go stroll on the horseshoe one more time. You know, you won't be a student anymore. Check out how it feels. My sense is it will feel somewhat the same, but not exactly the same. And when you're ever in town, when you're coming back for homecoming, a football game, to visit a cherished professor, to get a transcript, whatever brings you back, stop at the horseshoe first. Walk it once or twice, see how it feels, and then remember that this will always be your home. So I'd like to see many of you there later today. Let's all thank our wonderful announcers, Chris Horn and Kevin Hull, and our sign language interpreters, Megan Malone and Dawn Hartwell. Go forward with confidence. Before we have the benediction and special music, let's do a 1, 2, 3, go Gamecocks. 1, 2, 3, go. And now we will have the benediction to be delivered by the Reverend Wall. After Mr. Liu, who just graduated, let's see, in fact, if he sings even better now, will lead us in the first verse of our beloved alma mater, the words of which, if you need them, can be found on the first page of your program. We will then have special and familiar music for the graduates. If you look up at the monitor, you may even see yourself. So let's go forward with confidence. Let's stand for the remaining part of this program and the recessional.
Graduates and friends, let me offer you a Franciscan-style blessing as you go. May you be blessed with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deeply from your heart. May you be blessed with failure, to prevent the overtaking of the weeds of arrogance and to promote the sowing of the seeds of humility. May you be blessed with tears to shed for those who suffer pain, poverty, and violence, so that you may reach out your hand in comfort and turn their mourning, their darkness into morning. And may you be blessed with enough craziness to do what you never dreamed possible for the sake of our beautiful but broken world that needs you and your unique gifts and graces. Blessings upon you. Amen.
hope you've enjoyed this special presentation of the Spring 2016 commencement exercises at the University of South Carolina. Thanks for watching.